I've blown it. Okay, here we go. This is kind of a personal leadership one, which is good. How do you separate how well you're doing in ministry from the numbers? So, for example, let's be honest, our leaders, our leadership, our location pastors, our senior pastors, they look across the church and they see numbers. That's really because that's the way one way that they can evaluate the ministry and how it's going. And often to us we go, well, it's not just about the numbers; it's about kids, and kids love Jesus, and you should see how many kids love Jesus. And so, when our leadership is wanting kind of numbers, and sometimes those numbers can be disappointing, rain, sport, whatever it is, how do you separate your own worth, maybe, or your own the way that you see yourself, I think, because you can get pretty down when those numbers are down.
I think redefine your win.
Good.
Like, focus on something that you actually can control. I mean, we all impact the number that's in our kids' ministry. The quality will impact the size of how many families buy into church life ultimately, but that's a really long-term thing. But 1 week to the next, rain, sports, sickness, all that stuff, or even a weird season where there were less children born that year, 2 years ago, like, can impact things.
Wow.
So we actually did that once. We looked at how many people were born in a particular campus because 1 year level was really small and it was just less were born. But the thing is that you need to define that win. You determine whether your team win. Not the numbers. So you can determine how many kids you encourage, how many encouragement awards you give out.
Yes.
You can set your own indicators.
And I talk about that in my new book, If Only You Knew.
Wow.
I do actually talk about defining a win for you on the weekend, because you want to look at your own personal leadership as you need to have a win yourself. You need to have a win as a leader. And a really great way for me is if I'm on a weekend service and I'm doing a small group with a bunch of kids, I really want to have one great meaningful discussion. I want kids to be like engaged 100%. And if I can get to that moment, even if it's with one kid and I'm sitting beside them playing Connect 4, whatever, or it's with a small group, if I can have that one conversation, then I feel like my weekend was a success. Totally. That's just one example.
Totally.
And so what is your, read the book and I'll give you a lot of examples.
Yeah.
But really, what is a win for you personally?
Yeah, totally.
Now, you may be leading worship, or what is it? What is it in the area that you're doing? Even if you're running the sound and lights, maybe a win is having the projector not blow up. That could be a great win.